Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
When it comes to the NBA draft, it's a moment that every baller dreams of. Wait, haven't I already done this bit before? Oh yeah. Well, yes, Alvini Linguine is back with another What Happened To video, but this time it is what happened to every 30th overall pick in the 2010s decade. For those who remembered, I made a few months ago a video based on what happened to every person that was picked last in the draft in the 2010s decade, and y'all really seemed to like it, so due to its popular demand from that video, I decided to do this one also, finally. Now, unlike my 60th overall pick video, these people will mostly be people that NBA fans would know of. But hey, you might not know a few of them, so you might learn something new. Other than that, let's hit 1,000 likes to support the channel, and subscribe if you are new to get more weekly basketball videos like this. Check out my Twitter, my Twitch, Instagram, and Discord for more behind the scenes stuff, and more Alvini. With all that out of the way, you already know who it is.
He incurred an injury dealing with weights in the weight room, so he stitched up in the left hand doing all this.
It's over, ladies and gentlemen.
With the 30th pick of the 2010 NBA draft, the Washington Wizards select Lazar Hayward from Marquette University. Does anybody else remember this guy from 2K11, or is that just me? Anyways, Lazar Hayward coming into the draft was a senior at Marquette with averages of 18 points and 7 rebounds a game while shooting 43% from the field while leading his team to a national tournament bid before losing to a Quincy Pondexter layup at the end of a game. Yes, you heard me right here, you lost to a nigga named Pondexter. Anyways, at the end of that season, he put his ballot into the 2010 draft and had a decent amount of suitors wanting his services as a late to early second round pick. He was even compared to Ryan Gomes. With that, he was picked with the 30th pick to the Wizards and then traded to Minnesota on draft night. Now, for his NBA career, it was rather short. He only lasted 3 seasons on 2 different teams, and he only averaged 2 points a game and only played 72 games total in his career. After that, he bounced from G League and overseas teams, but that itself only lasted 2 more seasons. So, he didn't only play 5 years of professional basketball, but I am sure he left doing what he loved. But he will always be remembered as the guy that I traded for in 2K11 and being part of the James Harden trade. And as we all know, being mostly known for being in a trade is not exactly a good thing to be remembered for in the NBA, but hey, it be like that sometimes. With the 30th overall pick of the 2011 NBA draft, the Chicago Bulls select Jimmy Butler from Marquette. Yes, I believe everybody knows that Jimmy Butler was the 30th overall pick of the 2011 draft, and I am sure that everyone knows where he came from and how he got to this point, so I'll just make this quick. Jimmy Butler, coming out of college, averaged 15 points and 6 rebounds a game at Marquette on amazing field goal percentages and showed what he could do as a two-way player for NBA scouts. But I am sure that every team can work with a player who just wants to work hard and give their everything for the team. Unless you're Brent Brown and the Philadelphia 76ers, but that's for later. Anyways, after getting drafted, he was met with his first coach in Tom Thibodeau, who is known for not giving young players much playing time and overplaying other players to the fact of ruining careers. RIP prime Derrick Rose. But he used that time to grow within the team, and when his time finally came, he took full advantage of it. In his 4th season, he went from averaging 2 points a game in his rookie year to 20 points a game in his 4th year, while also winning Most Improved Player that year. But y'all know the rest of the story. He did his best to lead the Bulls somewhere, but then he was traded for Zach LaVine and a nigga named Laurie. Then he had his legendary saga in Minnesota while also leading them to the playoffs for the first time in years. Then he was traded to the 76ers while keeping similar production and looking really promising to create a big 3 with Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons, but wanted Brent Brown gone. But as we all know, that didn't happen just for him to get fired a year later. I bet y'all regret letting Jimmy go now that he's in Miami, leading his team to the Eastern Conference Finals against the Celtics and possibly to the actual NBA Finals. I hope he finds a great rest of his career in Miami, as the system and the coach there is definitely something that he loves. For the 30th pick of the 2012 NBA draft, the Golden State Warriors select Festus Ezeli from Vanderbilt University. Now, his NBA career is a very short story to talk about. In college, he was mainly tasked to use his 7-foot body to make sure no one gets to the rim easily while being available for open shots at the hoop because of his limited offensive game, athleticism, and upside when it came to improving. But even in college, with his 10 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 blocks a game, it was just meant for teams to have a decent role player who you can give solid minutes off the bench to be a body. And that's what the Warriors wanted from Ezeli, and Festus knew his role right from the start and played it right. He even got a championship ring for doing that. However, his career was cut short due to knee issues. He even signed a 2-year, $15 million deal with the Trailblazers. Unfortunately, his knee couldn't keep up with that, so he ended up getting waived. And now, in current day 2020, he is helping his home country in Nigeria through basketball. His career averages may only be 4 points and 4 rebounds a game, but what he is doing with the sport right now is more impactful than what he could have done on the court. Also, the Twitter video he posted when he left Golden State will always be a national treasure. With the 30th pick of the 2013 NBA Draft, the Phoenix Suns select Nemanja Nedovic, who last played for his team in Lithuania. So I'm sure that no one knows who Nemanja is unless we're talking about Bielitsa, but let's go on and talk about him a little bit anyway. Nemanja coming into the league was considered a decent all-around product with nice athleticism coming out of his 4th professional season overseas, averaging 10 points a game, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists a game on great shooting splits. So the Warriors, who we ended up getting traded to, thought they had a decent project on their hands of becoming a nice little backup point guard for Stephen Curry. Unfortunately, he was stuck in the G League where he did even better with the numbers that he had in the G League compared to when he was in Lithuania, probably because of the faster pace, but it's still something to mention. But even through all that time, he was still waived after the 2014 Summer League, where he is now playing overseas in Europe ever since. As of current day 2020, he's playing for this team that I won't even try to pronounce in Italy, while still averaging decent numbers at the age of 29. With the 30th pick of the 2014 NBA Draft, the San Antonio Spurs select Kyle Anderson from UCLA. Now, as a person who has played a lot of basketball and watched a lot of basketball, I have no idea what to call Kyle Anderson as a prospect. After his sophomore year at UCLA, where he averaged 14 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists a game, and a steal on amazing field goal percentage, you thought he'd be a lottery pick somewhere, still being so young. Even at UCLA, they ran him at point guard and he was getting Magic Johnson comparisons for what he was doing. But no one was fooled by that season that he had, and he was picked up with the last pick of the first round by the Spurs. Kyle's time in the league has been full of mainly role confusion and even more role confusion, because he has been doing so well at the guard position in college that now he is stuck at the small forward and power forward spot at the NBA level. Due to that, his production in the NBA has been far from stellar at 5 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists a game so far in 6 seasons. But after his time in San Antonio, where in his best season he averaged 7 points a game in a Craig Popovich system, we can't truly say anything about his career so far, but he is now in the young system of Memphis with Rookie of the Year Ja Morant with a bench role for the team. Honestly, I hope to see a team give him an opportunity at point guard to at least try it out to see if they can recreate the magic they had in UCLA. But with his speed as a 66 in 2K and his fucking nickname being Slow-Mo, that probably won't be a good idea in the current age of the NBA. So let's hope the best for his career. With the 30th overall pick of the 2015 NBA Draft, the Golden State Warriors select Kevon Looney from UCLA. Now, Kevon Looney's NBA journey has been pretty successful so far, as he's been a part of the 2017 Warriors team, and I know that he's been there to win the other one before then, but he wasn't technically on the playoff roster. Shut up. Anyways, coming out of college, he was believed to be a hyper-athletic center who can crash the boards and be very good at hustling with his 3 offensive rebounds a game in his one and only college season. But coming in with the 30th pick, the Warriors needed more big man depth, so he was perfect for this role. It took a few seasons for him to get consistent playing time, but he eventually found his way into the rotation in his 3rd season, which again was his first championship year. After finding his role on this team, he is still currently playing with the Warriors, just being a good hustler, lob threat, and rebounder. But unfortunately, after last year's injury fest in the finals, he is still recovering from his hip injury, but he'll be ready to come back next season to contribute to another great Warriors roster. With the 30th overall pick of the 2016 NBA Draft, the Golden State Warriors select Damian Jones from Vanderbilt University. Yet again, another center for bench depth. We have Damian Jones, who was, funny enough, compared to a person on this list already, Festus Ezeli. Coming out of Vanderbilt, Damian was a decent big man, averaging 13 points, 6 rebounds, and a block a game in his junior year at Vanderbilt. But due to the 2016 draft being more top-heavy and not having too much big man depth at the point of the draft, Damian was able to be drafted 30th by the Warriors. Now, he came in on an already championship caliber team, so he never got much playing time, was primarily in the G League where he showed out but stayed for 2 seasons, though after his time there, he was able to get 2 championships with the team. After the 3 seasons he was there, the most games he played in the season was 24 and 17 minutes a game, but after those 3 years with not much happening, he was traded for Omari Spellman, aka the Hawks version of Draymond Green, Currently, he is still playing with the Hawks, still getting the same amount of playing time and giving the same production, so let's hope he develops or finds himself a home in some team in the future. With the 30th overall pick of the 2017 NBA Draft, the Utah Jazz select Josh Hart from Villanova. Josh Hart, coming out of Villanova, was a great two-way scorer for Jay Wright's team at Villanova, while also being an NCAA champion in his junior year and having other accolades like being the Big East Defensive Player of the Year, the Big East Player of the Year, and all Big East first team. So he came in with a lot of accolades to help boost his NBA stock. And with that, he was drafted to the Jazz at 30th and traded to the Lakers on draft night, where he started his career. His time in LA came with ups and downs, as he looked promising in his rookie year, then dropped his shooting production when LeBron came into town, as most young players do, and now, in current day 2020, he was traded to the Pelicans with other teammates for Anthony Davis, continuing to develop with a new age New Orleans Pelicans team as of last season, or this season, I don't even know what to call it anymore. He averaged 10 points a game, though on 42% from the field, but he still has time to solidify himself as a good role player on this up and coming Pelicans team. Also, did I mention that he never gets high fives from his teammates and might be a living meme? With the 30th overall pick of the 2018 NBA Draft, the Atlanta Warriors select Omari Green from Villanova. Now, I already know what y'all about to say, and yes, I said everything wrong on purpose. You want to know why? Because Travis Schlenk took over the Hawks and wanted to recreate the modern-day Warriors by drafting Trae Young to be Steph, Kevin Huerter to be Clay, and the final piece of the puzzle, Omari Spellman to be Draymond Green. Coming out of college, he won a championship averaging 10 points, 8 rebounds, and a block a game while really being promising for the three-point line. However, even though he was riding off the wave of winning a national championship, NBA scouts had concerns about how he served on the NBA roster, mainly like how Draymond was being criticized about his fit. But the dream of becoming the Eastern Conference Warriors was so enticing that the Hawks took the bait and drafted Spellman. Now, for his career so far, he's gotten some pretty decent opportunity on a bad Atlanta team, but unlike the Warriors, who was patient with Draymond's development, Atlanta traded Spellman the next season to the Warriors. Now, many people thought this is what he needed, including myself. Some mentorship from the man himself, Draymond Green. His stats even increased and he became more efficient. However, the Warriors still traded him to the Timberwolves for the D'Lo and Andrew Wiggins trade, and then the Timberwolves sent him to the G League immediately. So yeah, that's where he is now. Hopefully, he will continue to receive a chance in the league, as he showed some promise when he was with the Warriors. With the 30th overall pick of the 2019 NBA Draft, the Milwaukee Bucks select Kevin Porter Jr. from USC. Now, this is his rookie season and there isn't much to say on that, but let's just keep going on and talk about his college career real fast. At USC, he was actually doing pretty good as a scorer with 9 points a game on 47% from the field and 41% from three, but then he was suspended for conduct reasons. Even with that looming over him, he was still able to go to the 2019 draft and get selected by the Bucks, but then be traded to Detroit, and as we all know, you can't have shit in Detroit. And then he got traded to the Cavs, which I and a lot of people thought would be great, since Cleveland could definitely use some more exciting young talent with Colin Sexton and others. And he did that. He impressed with 10 points a game on decent shooting splits, but even then he is a rookie and still has time to improve. He even had a 30-point game during the season, so the potential as a scorer in the NBA is there. So let's hope him the best, especially since they got rid of dumbass John Boeheim. So as you can see by the 10 people who I talked about today, even though you're drafted in the first round, it does not mean you'll have a long and successful career in the NBA. But being drafted is still a great experience, and getting that first round money can go a long way in life, just like how Festus Ezeli is putting back into the community of Nigeria. Anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed this video and learned something new, as it is my goal with this channel to entertain and inform y'all on anything in the world of basketball. And if you want any more videos like this, then please like the video and comment your thoughts or something else you want to look into. On that note, let's get this outro started. Like the video for more weekly basketball content. Check out my social medias for the inside life of Alvini and other channel news. Check out my Twitch where I stream weekly and have to go through shit like this all the time. Thank you. Okay. Yep, I just love some balls on my face. And lastly, if you want to talk to your boy, there's always my Discord. With that out of the way, this is your boy, Alvini Linguine, saying peace. And Omari Spellman really could have been a second Draymond, but, you know, people get too impatient with young players.